Derek Carr and Geno Smith are two starting quarterbacks that I could see the Browns landing this offseason that I feel like no one's really discussed all that much, a little bit here and there, and somewhat rightfully so. Neither quarterback is a free agent or scheduled to be a free agent this offseason, but we all know once March gets here, there's a bunch of salary cap casualties, and if you talk to a Saints fan or a Seahawks fan, they'll tell you there is a greater than 1% chance that one or both of these quarterbacks could be moved on from this offseason. So let's discuss the possibility of Cleveland landing Carr or Smith. But I do want to get your thoughts on it, just kind of right off the top here. If you had to pick a quarterback for the Browns to sign, who would it be? Derek Carr or Geno Smith? Let's say both quarterbacks get released and both quarterbacks have the same price. Who do you want the Browns to pursue? Just let me know in the comment section below. Now let's start things off by talking about Derek Carr. DC was a quarterback that I, probably like most people, kind of made fun of at times. And I don't know if I regret it because I wasn't trying to be a bully or anything like that, but it's probably not one of my better sports takes to think Derek Carr is a bad quarterback. I think he is a good starting quarterback in the NFL. It's tough to find quality starting quarterback play, and he can definitely play the position well. He does not have the postseason success or really experience much, but there are some pros to his game overall. Now, why would the Saints move on from him? Well, for starters, he's got a big cap hit coming up this season. And if New Orleans is thinking, we're going to stink this year, we've got a new head coach, plus the Saints might not even be very thrilled with whatever head coach they hire because it seems like they've missed out on a few of their top candidates like Aaron Glenn, who picked the Jets over the Saints, then maybe internally they're like, this is not a good year for us. Let's just start shedding some of the dead weight in big contracts, bite the bullet, really suck in 2025, and maybe we get Arch Manning, and we have another Manning quarterback in the New Orleans Saints. But Carr, over the last couple of years, I think you'd be surprised to see he's got really good numbers. Now, this past season, he only played 10 games, and that's very low for him. He's always been one of the most durable quarterbacks in his career. But go back to 2023, not a really good season altogether for New Orleans, but Derek Carr ended the year with nearly 4,000 yards, 25 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. So I'm definitely open to the idea, and open is a light way of putting, I'm definitely interested in Derek Carr being the Browns quarterback if the Saints decide we don't really have the right pieces in place to be very competitive this year. So let's just move on from Carr. We'll draft a rookie this year, not like a round one rookie, but we'll kind of try with the Texans tried with Davis Mills, who was like a third or fourth round pick for them. And if we find our next Russell Wilson or Kirk Cousins or Dak Prescott, a mid-round pick, then sweet, we're home free. If not, we'll probably be picking top 3 next year, and hopefully we get a superstar quarterback. If Carr is available in the offseason, I think he'd be the best quarterback on the market. For one, it kind of his contract reflects that. When he was released by the Raiders 2 years ago, he got $150 million in free agency. That was millions of dollars ahead of any quarterback in free agency. And I don't know if he's going to get another $150 million contract, but the market was definitely interested in Carr the last time he was a free agent, and well, what's changed since then? He's gotten a little bit older, but he's not, a relic. He's played good football. He got injured this past season, but if a team's comfortable with him, being healthy in 2025, I think he's still being viewed as a quality starting quarterback, which $150 million by the Saints would indicate that they think he was a starting quality quarterback at that point. So I'm not putting my nose down to Derek Carr. I think he would be the best QB available, especially when you look at the free agent quarterbacks out there. Jameis, I'm not really sure what to make of Jameis still. They benched him, but maybe they bring him back because they want to see Jameis in Kevin Stefanski's offense and not Ken Dorsey's. Sam Darnold, I think, is going to go back to Minnesota, but if the Vikings let him walk, then that's definitely an intriguing name to watch for. You've got some other options, but none that are all that either inspiring, encouraging, or likely in a lot of ways. So if Carr's there, I'm signing him in a heartbeat. And I'm not trying to sell Derek Carr for the Browns long term. I'm trying to find the best option for 2025. And to me, Derek Carr is miles ahead of all the other options out there. Like, something that gets under my skin a little bit is when we talk, when I say we, kind of Browns Twitter, just fans online, whatever. Browns fans discuss what they should do at quarterback, and there's the two schools of thought right now. There is the draft a quarterback, and there is the go the veteran route and then draft one in like round 3 versus drafting one in round 1. The folks that want to draft a quarterback second overall often say, well, what's a better option? And I could say, well, if Derek Carr is available, Derek Carr's a better option. And then they get to be the judge, the jury, and the executioner and decide, no, Derek Carr's not a better option. Well, in your eyes, he might not be, but that was not what the question was. It was, who's a better option? So I gave you my opinion on it, but you're ultimately the decider as to who the better option is. And if you don't like that option, then you are further entrenched in the draft a quarterback second overall no matter what because you didn't give me a better option. Now, if you're still not really on board with Carr, I'm not here to try and sell you on Derek Carr is going to be a great quarterback for the next 6, 7, 8 years for the Browns. I'm just trying to tell you guys that there's not a lot of great options out there. So let's do a little blind quarterback resume. Here we go. You got door number 1, door number 2, door number 3. Which quarterback would you want the Browns to pursue this offseason? The guy who completed nice 69% of his passes, 30 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 28 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, not too far off, but a decent dip in completion percentage, or a bigger dip in touchdowns with quarterback C. Behind these 3 doors, Derek Carr, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson. So, we once again arrive at this train station that is, what is the best option for the Browns? There are not a lot of good options. But we, and by we, I really just mean Andrew Berry and the Browns, cannot be picky. And if Derek Carr becomes available because he's got $30 million, don't quote me, but give or take, in guaranteed money coming up if he's on the Saints roster following the third day of the new league year, New Orleans might decide we're not really interested in paying someone $30 million guaranteed when we're going to suck this year. We don't really have a good head coach in place, not our top 1 or 2 candidates, and we're kind of tanking for the 2025 or 2026 NFL draft. I could see Carr and the Saints parting ways as a result. Before we look at the other quarterback on today's episode, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're closing in on 41,000 subscribers. So if you're looking for a free Browns YouTube channel for the entire offseason, we need 384 of you watching right now to scroll on down and click that subscribe button. Let's talk about the other free agent potential QB, and that is Geno Smith. And if I haven't made it abundantly clear, neither Carr or Geno Smith are scheduled to be free agents, but there's a chance they could be released, maybe traded. I don't think you'll find a trade partner, so let's just go down the released route. But if it is a trade, it'll be a very, very small transaction in terms of draft capital going to that team. Now, before we talk about Geno, I do have to give a quick shout out to our friends over at GameTime. GameTime has an awesome feature called GameTime Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. You see, GameTime Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. One thing I really like about GameTime is their all-in pricing option. Toggling this feature shows the total upfront cost with no surprise fees at checkout. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with GameTime. Download the GameTime app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHAT Sports for $20 off. I put all that information in the comments and description of today's video. Download GameTime today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. Switching gears, let's talk about Geno Smith, who has 1 year left on that 3-year, $75 million contract he signed after replacing Russell Wilson in 2022. So, 2023, 24, and now going into 2025. The financial side of things for Geno. He's got a $44 million cap hit coming up, but just $13.5 million dead cap. So, there's about $30-ish million in cap savings to be had for the Seahawks if they decide to move on from Geno. Now, I'm not really convinced the Seahawks are looking outwards like the Saints are of we're going to suck in 2025. They've got their young head coach. They put together a winning season, right? Did they not? They went 9-8 this year, I believe it was. Just came up a little bit short in the AFC or NFC West division push. But ultimately, money talks. And if they feel like, hey, Geno is not really living up to a $44 million cap hit for a guy that just threw 15 interceptions, we might be better off taking $30 million in cap savings, going a different, cheaper direction at quarterback, spending elsewhere on the roster. I'm not advertising that as a good plan of attack, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Seahawks land at that conclusion. Now, I'm in the same boat for Geno that I am as Derek Carr, which is, no, I don't think either quarterback is like some world-class quarterback that the Browns are going to have for the next 5, 6, 7 years. But I do think he is a better option than the current options out there. We looked at the free agent quarterbacks, not a lot of great options there. You can look at the upcoming quarterback draft class. You guys know where I stand on Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward, second overall, not interested. But signing Geno or signing Carr does not prohibit you from going quarterback in round 3. Double dip. Go get Jackson Dart. I don't like Jalen Milroe. I can warm up to Quinn Ewers. I can get behind Will Howard or Kyle McCord. Like, I can go Dart, Howard, McCord in round 3 and sleep just fine. So, in my eyes, Carr, Geno, both are immediate upgrades from what you currently have at quarterback. I think they're upgrades from the current free agent class. And no rookie in this draft class, I think, is honestly ready to start week 1. Like, even if you were to take Shedeur or Cam Ward at second overall, I think it could be in your best interest to still have those guys sit for a little bit. There are plenty of other very, very ready quarterback prospects that have sat. Baker Mayfield didn't even start week 1, as we all know. So I don't know why you can't rule out taking a quarterback and getting a veteran and letting that rookie sit and develop a little bit. So my dream scenario for the Browns at this moment is sign a veteran, preferably, if available, Carr or Smith, because I think they are better than the other free agent quarterbacks out there, and then go with a quarterback in day 2 of the draft. And we can talk at a later date about which quarterback that should be. But this, to me, should be the stilts, right? This is the foundation of what I'd like to see the Browns do. Not just, we're going to take a quarterback second overall. We don't really care who it is. We're just going to take the sloppy seconds of whoever the Titans pass on. And fingers crossed it all goes well. To me, that just sounds like you're trying to get the fan base to be less mad at you for Deshaun Watson. And it'll buy you some relief temporarily. But what happens if that quarterback stinks and then you're right back at square one finding a new quarterback and everyone's still mad at you? And oh yeah, you missed out on a perennial Pro Bowler like Abdul Carter, or maybe Travis Hunter, Will Johnson, Mason Graham, Ashton Genty, one of those guys. If a quarterback in this class is so great that it's worth potentially missing out on one of those guys, I'm in. I don't think there is, though. Before we get on out of here, I am looking for a new show. My fiance has a bachelorette party in Vegas this weekend, so it is me, the dog, and the TV. So I am looking for some new show recommendations because I feel like there haven't been a lot of new good shows out there lately. I'm halfway through Penguin. I've almost finished Monk. I'm very late behind on that one, but I'm looking for a new show because I'm probably going to finish both of those sometime this weekend, and then I'm starting fresh. All right, before we get on out of here, let's pick a card to wrap up our episode. I've got producer Dylan coming in on a Friday with me. Appreciate you, Dylan. Which card do you want to go with?
I'm going to go with the Queen of Spades.
Queen of Spades. I like it. I'm going to go with the 9 of Diamonds. I'm feeling good. This 9 of Diamonds, it's speaking to me right now. Sam, do you want to guess one? 6 of Clubs from Sam. We're all idiots. 2 of Hearts. The 2 keeps coming up. Okay, that will do it for us on today's episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you all tomorrow.